The first business that I actually started wasn't a final mile delivery company. It was actually a diaper company. And we had absolutely zero money when we started this. I'm talking open your pocket in 2 months, flout level capitalization. So we had to deliver these diapers to our customers ourselves. The company grew and it grew to about 100 customers, but we only had a Ford Figo and a Ford Fiesta, myself and my co-founder Roy, respectively. And those are not big cars. We ran out of the ability to do the deliveries ourselves in our cars anymore. We got incumbent delivery companies on board. What happened? Well, we started losing customers. We lost them quickly. We did one smart thing. We spoke to someone who we thought had been our perfect customer, and we asked them, why did you leave? It was in a suburb called Observatory in Cape Town, and it was this beautiful Victorian cottage. It was mint green, and there was a brass knocker on the door. This woman opened it. She had a kid in her arm, and we had a conversation. And she told us that when we're doing the deliveries ourselves, we used that brass knocker to knock on the door. We didn't ring the doorbell. And what that meant was that her kid could sleep through the delivery experience because it wasn't allowed bing bong when we arrived. That meant that she didn't have 85 decibels of baby noise piping into her ear. But now that we'd outsourced to these other delivery companies, they weren't following that instruction. They were just pressing the doorbell. And she said to us, if that's going to happen, I might as well buy from somebody else and deal with the 85 decibels in my ear because you've only got diapers and everybody else has got a lot more stuff. And we were like angel sounds and incredible realizations. And that's how we pivoted from being a diaper company to a delivery company. We took the story on board. We insourced deliveries back. We realized that this was an opportunity for actually many businesses, not just our own, and that we could productize that. And that's what became the delivery company that Walmart International bought 7 years later. I'm telling you that story because the ground's shifting underneath our feet. AI is a jagged frontier. Some things it can do incredibly well, some things poorly. But what is known, according to the World Economic Forum, is that 39% of the skills that are relevant today are not going to be relevant by 2030. There is a heck of a lot of change happening at the moment. When companies change or when the world changes around companies, change causes a misalignment inside those companies. And when misalignment isn't resolved very quickly, misalignment causes friction in execution. And when there's friction in execution, what you have is a loss of profit. And a loss of profit is a loss of cash. This is a cash problem. Misalignment also loses you your best people. People who are the best work for something greater than the pay. Change is going to happen. So how do you prevent these two things from wrecking your company? Story thinking, and I don't just mean storytelling, not just fluency of being able to tell a story, but story thinking, that's older than language. That's older than accounting, which, by the way, is older than the written word. So how's story the answer? Well, there's two things. One, the human brain is evolved to remember characters. We remember people. We attach data points to people. We remember people, and then that's the container with which we drag information around with us. Story, as a container for strategy, creates sticky strategy. It creates strategy that's stiffen. When people remember their strategy, they're aligned. And when people are aligned, they execute efficiently. And when they execute efficiently, they have profit. And when you have profit, you have, no, not a cat, you have cash. If you don't believe me about the stickiness of story, I bet you can remember the color of the cottage in Observatory, but you probably can't remember the percentage of skills that will be out of date and the year by which they'll be out of date. If you're an executive, if you're a CEO, if you're a founder, if you're the head of learning and development, if you're the head of human capital resources, I'd like to talk to you about the work that I do in boardrooms and workshops and in the wild through a company called Thorndale. That's all that Tiffin and I got. Have a good night.